Alrighty, welcome everyone. My name is Jeremiah. Welcome to Flow and Go. Today we will need 2 blocks and a bolster if you so have one. If not a bolster, maybe a couch cushion or something that's nice and firm. I would advise against a pillow because it's a little too fluffy and it won't support you. Okay, we will go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and come to the mat and go ahead and take a seat on the block. We're going to come to a supported Virasana. So that means we are going to start off just like this. Block in between the legs, going to come down. And the height of the block depends on what you need. I'm going to go on the middle setting because that's going to be most comfortable for my legs. And what we're going to do is you want to have the block situated under the sit bone so you can firmly press down and actually get some nice height as you lift. And you want to bring your ankles so that way they're hugging the block. And you want to make sure that the knees are directly in front of the hips. And we're going to set ourselves up just like this. So go ahead and start to press down to the sit bones as you close the eyes. Notice if the low ribs are flaring out and bring them in. And just start to find the breath. Taking deep inhales in, long exhales out. So to let go of the to-do list for today, let go of anything that might be on your mind. Give yourself a moment to just be here in this moment. For the next 60 minutes, all that matters is you on your mat. Our focus this week is karuna, the concept of compassion. So being compassionate means to suffer with, to understand deeply someone else's experience. So ask yourself as you are here, seated on the mat, what does it mean to you to be deeply compassionate? How can you deeply understand someone else's experience? Maybe you haven't lived that experience, but maybe you've lived something similar. Or maybe you can understand how someone got to be where they are. Or you can understand the chain of events. But also ask yourself, how does it apply to the mat? How does it apply to yourself? Being compassionate means to deeply understand your experience. So when you are here on the mat, as you are going through poses, maybe you feel something that you haven't felt before, or maybe you aren't able to go as deep in a pose that you are normally used to. Being compassionate means understanding that every day is different, every movement is different, and how that presents itself in your body might be different. Begin to inhale, reach the hands high, palms touch. Then as you exhale, hands come through to heart center, and keep the eyes closed or close them if you haven't already. Take a moment here to lift the chest against the thumbs press against the chest. Use this connection of hand to chest to be present. Let this cement yourself into the moment. Concentrate on the feel of the heartbeat, the rise and fall of the chest as you breathe. Then as you inhale, reach the hands high one more time, palms touch. Exhale, hands come through heart center. Maybe begin to set an intention for today's class. Maybe you set an intention around the meaning of compassion and how you can feel that for yourself. Or maybe you ask yourself, how can you deeply understand someone else's experience? Then as you inhale next, open the eyes. Reach the hands high. Reach, 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 reach. Maybe you feel your ribs flare out. Let's go ahead and bring those ribs in. Tighten the core. As you exhale, right hand down, left hand overhead. Reach long through the body, breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, lift yourself up. Exhale, left hand down, right hand overhead. Reach long, press that right sit bone down. Get long in the body. Inhale, back to center. Take it back to the other side. Imagine I am pressing a weight down on your knee and I'm reaching out, pulling on your left wrist. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale back to center, drop to the other side. Again, once more, I'm pressing a weight on your right knee and I'm reaching and pulling your right wrist. Get long in the body. Inhale back through center and go ahead and drop the hands to your knees. Maybe take a few shoulder curls left and right, forward and back. And eventually settle yourself in the middle. We're going to go through some cat-cows in Virasana here. So we're going to inhale, use the hands on the knees to pull the chest forward, roll the shoulders back, look up, cow. Then as you exhale, arch spine, pull the belly button in, cat. Inhale, back to your cow, roll the shoulders back, look up. Exhale, pull the belly button in, find that cat pose. And move with your breath here. There's no right or wrong here. Find what works for your body. And then after one more round, we'll meet in neutral position. Beautiful work. So we want to now take our hands to our hips. Find the bony part of the hips, the crest. We want to do a cat-cow here, but with just the hips. So you want to think of the pelvis like a bowl. So we want to find a anterior tilt or a posterior tilt. So when you are anterior tilt, when you're taking your hips forward, you're pouring the bowl forward, your tailbone points backwards. Then when you take a posterior tilt, your tailbone now points underneath. Let's go ahead and do that a few more times. Inhale, pour the bowl of the pelvis, tailbone points behind you. Exhale, pull the tailbone underneath, find a posterior tilt. Inhale, anterior tilt, face forward, pour the bowl. Pour the bowl towards yourself now, bring it back this way. One more time, inhale, pour the bowl forward, anterior tilt. Exhale, pour the bowl towards yourself, posterior tilt. Inhale, back to center. Press through your shins now, reach up, find yourself in a tabletop. Maybe go ahead and find yourself where you are reaching one leg back and reaching the other. We just spent some time on our knees bent. We need to kind of liven the legs back up. Maybe stepping back, maybe taking some motions, but we'll meet in a tabletop position. And from tabletop, just go walk your hands forward, just maybe an inch or two, tuck your toes, inhale, lift the hips, press them back, downward facing dog. Really pedal out to the feet here. And again, take your awareness back to the pelvis, to the hips. Notice where the tailbone is. We want to think here, we're trying to pour the hips down towards the mat. So we're trying to point the tailbone up towards the sky. Maybe that means you have really some bent knees here. That's okay. But keep pressing the hands down, pointing the tailbone towards the sky, pouring the hips towards the ground, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, take your knees forward. Exhale, feet travel to the top, coming through to your forward fold. Maybe hold the opposite elbows here. Maybe you sway, maybe you don't. You'll take a few moments here to find yourself relaxing down, pressing the feet down. Hips are going to be directly over the knees and the ankles. Breathing in. Then slowly drop the hands towards the mat. From here, we're going to begin to bend the knees, roll ourselves all the way up to standing, arms are tied. Exhale, hands come to heart center, and find your mountain pose. We're going to layer on some movement here. So we're going to inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, we find a halfway lift, press against the shins, reach the head forward, tailbone points back. Exhale here, plant the hands, left foot comes up and back 3 to 5 feet, dropping the knee, hands reach high for Anjaneyasana. Inhale, reach those hands high. As you exhale, press those hips forward and down as you cactus the arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, press down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, press down and hold. Take your hands to the hips, pulling left hip forward, right hip back. Feel this left hip flexor stretch. Reach the hands back high. From this position, drop your left hand down to the mat. Right hand lifts up that twisted lunge, opening up to that right shoulder, rolling the right shoulder behind you, breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Exhale, both hands start to come to frame that foot. Peel your hips back, finding your half splits. Pulling the right foot toward the face. Pull that left hip forward, and take your chin towards the shin, reaching yourself down. Flexing through that right foot, pulling your right hip back. Breathing in. Breathing out. Wonderful work here. Deep breath in. Then as you exhale, lunge back forward. Plant your hands, step back, downward facing up. Inhale your left foot high. Exhale, bring it through between the hands. Drop the right knee down. As you inhale, hands reach up. Finding your low lunge here. Reach, reach, reach. Then as you exhale, press those hips forward and down. Wonderful work here. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, press them down. Inhale, reach up. Before we come down this time, take your hands to the hips, pulling right hip forward, left hip back. Now lunge forward. Feel that right hip flexor stretch. From this position, drop your right hand to the mat. Left hand lifts up, twisted lunge. Hug that right knee in tight to the chest, breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Exhale, both hands start to frame that front foot. Flex the left foot towards the face, pulling that right hip forward, left hip back. Chin towards the shin, finding your Ardha Hanuman half split. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in. Then as you exhale, lunge back forward. Plant the hands, back foot comes to the top, coming through your forward fold, top of the mat. Awesome work here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Bend through your knees here, roll yourself to standing, arms reach high. Exhale, hands come through heart center, and find that mountain pose. Going through that one more time, a little more quick. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale here, plant the hands, left foot goes back, finding your low lunge. Inhale, hands reach high. Reaching it nice and tall. Exhale, cactus the arms, press the hips down. There we go. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, press it back down. Last time, inhale, reach. Exhale, press down and hold. As your left hand drops to the mat, right hand spins up. Twisted lunge here, breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Exhale, both hands start to frame that foot. Flex the foot back towards the face, finding your half split. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Exhale, lunge back forward, plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling out once more here, breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, left foot lifts. Exhale, take it through between the hands, drop the right knee, hand reach high, low lunge. Inhale, reach as tall as you can. Exhale, press those hips down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, press those hips down. Last time, inhale, reach up. Pulling right hip forward, left hip back. Lunge back forward. Right hand on the mat. Left hand lifts up, twisted lunge. Wonderful work here. Keep reaching that left hand high, press that right hand. Then as you exhale, both hands frame that foot, peel the hips back for that Ardha Hanumanasana, half split, pulling right hip forward, left hip back. Chin reaches towards the shin. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Exhale, lunge back forward, plant the hands back to the top, coming through your forward fold. From this position, go ahead and heel toe your feet out to the sides of the mat. Toes should be off the mat, heels should be on, feet at a 45-degree angle. Then as you exhale, try to drop the hips, hands come to heart center, finding a Malasana Yogi squats. Lift through the chest, reach through the hips. Using your hands inside the knees to push the knees out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Maybe you shift side to side here. Maybe you do a little dance party and wiggle the hips. Breathing in. Then as you exhale, hands drop. Push to the hands, lift the hips, wide leg forward fold. Pause some more here. Deep breath in. Long breath out. And as you do this one more time, drop the hips, hands to heart center, back to your Malasana. This time adding in a twist. As you inhale, right hand out, left hand lifts. Use the shoulder against that right knee to open up to the left, breathing in, breathing out. Inhale back to center. Then as you exhale, left hand out, right hand lifts. Use the shoulder against the knee to open to the right, breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, come back to center, drop the hands, push the hand, lift the hips, wide leg forward fold. Awesome work here. From here, go ahead and plant your hands, heel till the feet back under the hips as you step back to a plank. Shoulder to the wrists, heels drive back. Maybe we shimmy the hips side to side for a moment. We will wiggle out that Malasana, push down to the hands, lift through the hips, reach to the heels. Then as you exhale, lower to the mat. We're going to work on a little bit of cobra pose here to really stretch out the front of the body. So inhale, hands reach out to 45 degrees, the corners of the mat. Extend the arms nice and long, then take a slight bend to the elbows. Press your tops of the feet down, press your hips down, squeeze your glutes. As you inhale, press through the hands, lift the chest, roll the shoulders back. Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Breathing in, exhale, lower down. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale, press that pubic bone down, press the tops of the feet, lift yourself up. Now, imagine trying to zombie crawl. Pull through the hands, pull the chest forward, roll the shoulders back. I'm really using my arms to pull forward. Feel the stretch in my core. Breathing in, exhale, lower down. Taking our hands down to 90-90. Maybe the hands are about, maybe an inch or two in front of the shoulders. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to press the feet down, press the hips down. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift up, Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Press through the tops of the feet. Roll the inner thighs to the sky as you roll the shoulders back, look up. Exhale, roll down. Remember, we're in this pose trying to hold the breath when we want to. So as we inhale, press down, lift up, inhale. Now use the hands to try to zombie crawl forward. Pull yourself forward. Feel your core begin to stretch. Try to pull the heart forward. Breathing in. Exhale, slowly lower. Hands come underneath the shoulders here. Tuck your toes. As you inhale, one smooth motion, belly button into the spine. Push yourself to plank. Then downward facing dog. Great work here. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale, we take our gaze forward. Exhale, feet travel to the top. Forward fold. Inhale, we halfway lift. Exhale, we fold. Make sure the feet are underneath the hips. We start to bend to the knees. Roll ourselves into standing. Arms reach high. Exhale, hands to heart center, finding Tadasana, mountain pose. Start to finding our flow here. So we're going to go through the flow probably one time each side. So let's go ahead and shift the weight to the right side. Inhale, left leg comes up, pillar pose. Use the strength of the hip flexor to lift that knee as high as it goes. Now take that knee out to the side, finding your tree pose. Maybe you bring it to kickstand, maybe your calf, maybe you're all the way up to your thigh. No matter wherever you are, foot to leg, leg to foot, pressing together to get lift. Reach the hands tall. Maybe your palms touch here. Maybe your hands are heart center. Deep breath in. Then slowly detach this from the leg, bring it back to the pillar pose. Let's hacky sack this leg out to the side. So take a foot, curl it to the inside, bend through your standing leg as you find your standing figure four. Reach to the tailbone, reach to the crown of the head. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in. Slowly reach yourself back and up, back to your pillar pose. Step that left foot behind you, open up, high crescent lunge. Beautiful work here. Take a moment here in this high crescent lunge to bend through that back knee. Take your tailbone now. You're trying to scoop it underneath. Scoop under. Feel this left hip flexor really begin to stretch. Maybe straighten through that left leg, not too much. Let it give yourself some grace. Feel this hip flexor stretch, reaching hands high. Take a moment to keep bending through that back leg. Keep scooping the tailbone under. Feel that left hip flexor stretch. Then slowly, straighten through that back leg, tilt forward, thunderbolt. Reach through the hands, reach through the heel. Lift through the chest, breathing in, standing through that right foot, breathing out. From your thunderbolt, hands come through to heart center. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, left elbow to your right thigh. Twist yourself open. Think, reach through the crown of the head, then twist open. Lunging to that right knee, pressing out to that back heel. Think, lengthen the body. Then as you inhale, come back through center. Spring load that back leg, bend it. Then as you inhale, you're going to lean backwards. Inhale, launch yourself into a warrior three. Reach that back heel, reach the crown of the head. Warrior three with your hands at heart center. We're going to shift to a half moon next, so maybe a block is handy. Take that block underneath. Right hand down, left hand lifts up. Finding a half moon. Reaching here. Maybe we fall out and we laugh, and we come back in. Keep open this left hip up, reach the left hand high, kick through that back leg. Then as we exhale, both hands will come down to the mat, finding standing split. Reach the head down as counterbalance. Lift with the glutes of your left leg. Breathing in. Then as you exhale, lean back, finding your high crescent lunge once more. From this high crescent lunge, reach the arms tall. Then as you exhale, left hand down the mat, right hand lifts up, twisted lunge. From this twisted lunge, take your gaze down. Keep your left hand underneath the nose. Take your right foot, step it behind you, Vatsasana side plank. Lift through the hips. Think you are being pulled up with a hook here. Breathing in, breathing out. Then go ahead and drop your left knee down, support this side plank. From the side plank, we're going to inhale, reach up towards feet. Working towards Parivrasana, or gate pose. Right hand on the leg, left hand overhead. Gate pose. Squeeze your glutes here, press your hips forward, lift through the chest. Imagine I am reaching and pulling your left wrist out to the side. Rolling your left shoulder back slightly, press your hips forward, lift through the chest. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, exhale back to center. Slowly find your side plank, left hand back down, right bicep by the ear now. Reach through your hand. Imagine I am reaching and pulling through your right foot, and I'm reaching and pulling your right hand. Think length here. Squeeze your glutes together as you press your hips forward. Roll your left shoulder back, your right shoulder back. Open up the body. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in. Exhale, both hands start to come to the mat, finding a 3-limb table. Right leg extended behind you. Imagine you're trying to really rotate your hands open, but without moving them. So I'm going to face the camera for a minute. You want to imagine you're trying to rotate your hands externally, but all you're doing is letting the eye of the elbow come forward. You want to be able to have the elbow come really tight, because we're looking for this motion here. You want to be able to have the elbow straight to the body. We're going to go through some songbird here. So go ahead and keep that right leg behind you. Reach the glutes, hips are level. Externally, to rotate the hands, eyes of the elbows face forward, look forward. Take a deep inhale in. Exhale, songbird. Tap chin to the ground. Inhale, push back up. 3 more times. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. 2 more times. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Last time, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Go ahead here. Drop both knees to your tabletop. Reach your hands forward. Tuck your toes. Lift them up. Downward facing dog. Beautiful work so far. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, gazing forward. Exhale, feet travel to the top. Forward fold. Going straight to our other side. This time we're going to load the right foot with all the weight. Inhale, take the left knee up. Actually, we just did this side. So let's go ahead and hug the right knee up. Right knee is going to be as tall as you can. Reach, reach, reach. I'm going to take yourself to your tree pose. Knee goes to the right. Maybe take your kickstand. Maybe take it to your thigh or your calf, your choice. No matter what you choose, leg to foot, foot to leg. Press them together for balance. Reach your hands tall. Breathing in. And maybe bring your hands to heart center, breathing out. Squeeze your glutes here. Open that knee to the right. Inhale, take that foot to the center, pillar pose. Bend through your standing leg, take your ankle to your knee, reach the sit bone back, reach through the hands, standing figure four. Awesome here, keep reaching through the arms, reach the tailbone. Inhale back to the center, pillar pose, knee goes back behind you, high crescent. Lunge into that front knee, bend that back knee. Scoop your tail underneath, again, scoop the tail underneath, reach through the arms. Really feeling this in the back leg here, back hip flexor, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, then slowly straighten that back leg as you tilt over the leg, thunderbolt, all the weight in that left heel. Reach through the hands. Keep pulling that right hip slightly forward. Breathing in, breathing out. Hands come through the heart center, breathing in. As you exhale, right elbow to left thigh. Twisting open, reach the crown of the head. Think length, then twist. You want to eventually think thumbs to the sternum. Keep twisting, breathing in. Listening to our body, offering compassion and understanding. Breathing in. Then from here, we're going to inhale back to center. Spring load that back leg. Start to prepare that standing leg for balance. Lean back, inhale, launch yourself forward, warrior three. Kick to that back heel, reach to the crown of the head. Breathing in, breathing out. Then as we exhale, maybe our left hand comes down to a block or to the mat. Right hand lifts up for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Reach that back heel behind you. Roll that right hip open, breathing in, breathing out. Then as we exhale here, both hands come down, standing splits. Pulling the head towards the mat, squaring the hips as your right heel lifts up, breathing in, breathing out. As you inhale, start to bend through that standing leg, lean backwards, finding your way to your high crescent. Beautiful work here. Reach the hands high. As you exhale, right hand to the mat, left hand lifts up, twisted lunge. Take your gaze down, take your right hand underneath the nose, left foot steps back, side plank. Side plank for just a moment as you lift the hips up, reach the hands, drop your right knee, support a side plank. Great. Inhale, lift up to your T. Left hand on the leg, right hand overhead, gate pose. Imagine I am pulling your right knee down as I am pulling your right hand overhead. Now begin to take that right shoulder, roll it backwards as you squeeze your glutes and push your hips forward. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale back to center. Take that right hand down on the mat. Bicep now comes by the ear. Reach through your hand, press through your left leg. Now try to squeeze your glutes together as you reach your hips forward. Roll the left shoulder behind you. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in. Exhale, both hands are to come to the mat. 3-limb table. Once more, we're trying to externally rotate those arms so the eyes and elbows face forward. Left leg reaches behind you, breathing in. Exhale, swanward 4 times. Chin tucks down, inhale, lift. 3 more times. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. 2. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Last time, exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Take this up through to tabletop. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips, pressing back. Downward facing dog. Taking 2 breaths here. And after your second breath here, let your knees go nice and wide. Hips come to heels. Child's pose. Giving yourself a deep inhale. Long exhale. We're going to go through that flow one more time each side, maybe adding on. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, feet shift, knees back underneath, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, the gaze forward. Exhale, feet travel to the top, forward fold. Awesome work here. So to bend through the knees here, let's go ahead and slowly roll ourselves up standing. Arms are high. Exhale, hands up to heart center. And find our mountain pose. Closing the eyes here. Coming back to that concept of karuna, of compassion. Asking yourself, where can you find that deep understanding to understand your own experience and maybe that of someone else? Just let that soak in. Let that question just maybe go around the mind. And as we inhale, open the eyes, load the right leg with the weight, left knee lifts up. Flexing this knee towards the face as deeply as you can. Then go ahead and find your chair pose, so your tree pose. Leg at the side, find yourself into whatever tree pose you want. As you find leg to foot, foot to leg, squeeze them together, tight, tight, tight. As you reach the hands high, maybe challenge yourself and close the eyes. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Squeeze your glutes. Press your hips slightly forward. Breathing in. Slowly take this left knee back in front of you. Bend through your standing leg. Find your standing figure four. Reach the tailbone back. Reach the arms forward. Awesome work here. Press your ankle to knee, knee to ankle. Press the legs together for balance as you reach your arms forward. Reach through your tailbone. Inhale, come back through your pillar pose. Set that leg behind you. High crescent lunge. If you want some extra hip flexor stretch, really bend to that back leg. Scoop your tailbone underneath. Reach your front knee forward. Feeling this high crescent lunge. Breathing in. Breathing out. Straighten that back leg if you have it bent, finding a thunderbolt. Reaching the arms forward. Reach the back heel back. Beautiful work here. Slowly draw your hands to heart center as you take left elbow to right thigh, twisting open. Think length first, then twist. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Then inhale back to center. To both spring through that back leg, and as you inhale, launch yourself into warrior three. Maybe decide the arms come overhead. Keep pulling that left hip towards the ground. As you maybe drop your right hand down this time, left leg lifts up. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Open up the body. Option for balance here. Maybe we're going to take our left hand into our left leg. Finding sugarcane bow pose as you press your hips forward. And you're going to reach the shoulder behind you. Breathing in, opening up to that left shoulder. Breathing out. Breathing in. Slowly find your half moon once more to standing splits. Left heel lifts. And slowly lean backwards, finding your high crescent lunge once more. Awesome work. From here, we're going to take our left hand down to the mat. Right hand lifts up, twisted lunge. Maybe we take that left hand under the nose. Right leg steps behind us. Full side plank, or coming straight to support if that's like your choice. Lift through those hips. Then slowly drop your left knee down. Supported side plank. Inhale, reach up for your gate pose. Reach the right hand long on the leg. Left hand comes up and over. Squeeze your glutes together as you press your hips forward. Reach up through your hand. Feel the chest and torso lengthen. Inhale back to center. Drop your left hand down. Right bicep down by the ear. Keep pressing the hips forward. Reach your right shoulder behind you. Open up. Breathing in, breathing out. Slowly return back to center. We're going to skip the songbird this time. Instead, what we're going to focus on is stepping back to a plank. From this plank, we're going to hold, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in. Exhale, lower the knees, come to the ground. And we're going to find ourselves into a crocodile pose. Hands come underneath the forehead, legs go wide, heels come in, toes face out, crocodile pose. Pausing here. Maybe you shimmy your hips side to side for a moment. And take one more deep breath in. Tuck your toes behind you, narrow the legs. From here, we want to bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Hug the elbows tight to the body. Belly button comes into the spine, engage that core. Take your gaze slightly forward. As you inhale, press down. Once we motion plank pose, downward facing dog. Great work here. Deep breath in, look forward. Exhale, feet to the top. Coming through to the other side. So as we inhale, we're going to begin to bring ourselves to standing, right knee up this time. Finding our way to our tree pose. Leg out to the side. Finding what works for you for your tree. Foot to leg, leg to foot. Really press them together as you reach up through the hands. Breathing in. Breathing out. Squeeze your glutes together, press your hips forward. Breathing in. Slowly bring that knee back forward. Start to bend through that front leg. Ankle crosses over. Drop the hips, arms reach forward for balance. Finding our standing figure four. Keep reaching and breathing. Keep your focus. And as you inhale, come back up through standing, finding your high crescent lunge. Reach to the front leg. Maybe you want to bend that back knee once again. Scoop the tailbone under. Really begin to straighten that leg now. Feel that right hip stretch. Breathing in. Breathing out. To slowly here, hinge forward, thunderbolt. All the way into that right heel. Reach the arms forward. Breathing in. Breathing out. Hands come to your heart center. Breathing in. Exhale, twist to your left. Think long through the spine. Then find the twist. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale back to center. Start to lunge. Start to load that back leg. And then spring load yourself into a warrior three. Maybe the hands reach long. Maybe they reach behind you. Whatever works for you. Breathing in. Then exhale, left hand drops. Right hand lifts up. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Reach that back heel. Open through that right shoulder, breathing in. If you want to take sugar cane bow pose, this is your chance. Right hand to right foot. Bring that leg, that hip back open. You're going to kick into the hand, pull the shoulder back, press the hips forward, sugar cane bow pose, breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Slowly release, half moon to standing splits. At this point, our standing leg is really on fire, breathing in. Then exhale, lean back, find your way to your high crescent lunge. We're gonna get off our feet in just a moment, reach up high. Exhale, right hand to the mat, left hand lifts up, twisted lunge. Take your gaze down, bring that right hand under the nose, finding your Vashisthasana, your side plank. Lift your hips high, reach that hand high. Go ahead and drop that right knee down and inhale up for gate pose. Left hand on the leg, right hand overhead. Press the hips forward, roll the shoulder back, breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, slowly come back to center. Drop that right hand down, left hand overhead, bicep now by the ear, reach forward. Press the hips forward, lean that left shoulder back, breathing in, breathing out. Slowly come back through center, put our way to our tabletop. And from here, we're going to bring our legs out in front of us. make sure blocks are handy. As we find our way to a seated position, legs long in front of us. Go ahead and kick through the heels. Maybe windshield wipers a moment. And slowly, make sure the sit bones are firmly in contact with the ground. Maybe you have to push down, lift up, point the tailbone back to find that anterior tilt of the pelvis, reach the hands high. As you exhale, fold, holding up the foot, ankle, or shin as you pull the chest forward. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Slowly lift yourself back up. So, Supta Virasana is our pose of this week. So we're going to build up to that. So before we do that, we're going to work on a boat pose, but with the block. So we need the block here for this. So block can go between the knees. That's going to be your easiest option here. If you want a more challenge, in between the shins. You want the most challenge between the feet, the ankles. The reason why it's the most challenging between your feet is because our job here is to squeeze this together. So we're going to want to squeeze our knees together, but we have to imagine the same amount of space between the block has to stay between the knees. So you have to squeeze out as much as you squeeze in. So that's going to be the most challenge here. So if you want to get the inside of the hips as well as the outside of the hips, your ankles are your best option. If you're looking for just, I want to go a little easy right now, just the knees. So find your option here. I'm going to go with the ankles because I need to get the outside of the hip, especially the inside. So we're going to inhale, find your boat pose, reach the arms forward, chest reaches forward. All right, maybe you stay right here. Before we come to the full pose, let's go ahead and find that squeezing action. Squeeze the block between your feet, squeeze as tight as you can. And remember, if there's space between your feet, same space between your knees, and vice versa. Squeeze them together, reach your arms forward. Release the effort, hug the knees in. Great. Now let's do that with lifting up. We're going to do this 2 times, holding for about 4 to 5 breaths each. So as you inhale, squeeze the block, lift the shins, reach the arms forward. Squeeze everything together, hold the chest up, breathing in, squeeze, 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 breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Imagine you could put a permanent dent in that block, breathing in, exhale, drop, hug the knees. Great work. Let's go ahead and we will do that one more time. This time, if you had it on between the knees, maybe try between your shins, maybe try the ankles this time. If you've got it between your ankles, just leave it there. Let's go ahead and inhale, lift up. Squeeze everything together, reach the arms forward, breathing in, breathing out. Squeeze everything together, breathing in, breathing out. Don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to squeeze. Don't forget to breathe. And squeeze. Exhale, drop, hug. There you go. Great work. Ditch the block to the side. Because right now, we're going to let our legs go long. Now we're going to take the block. We're just going to lift ourselves up, sit on the block. All right. So there's a trick to the block. You want to sit. So your sit bones, you have that anterior tilt. So for me, I have to lean forward, tilt my pelvis, drop my sit bones down, then lift up. Now I've got them where I want them. All right, so Supta Virasana. We're going to come into various iterations of this pose. So we're going to take the right leg, let it go long. Left knee, bend it, bring it behind you. I have very big calves, so I need to kind of roll my calf out of the way and bring myself down. All right, I'm still sitting on the block with both sit bones. I might move it so that way just my right leg, my right sit bone is sitting on it. I want to let my left hip kind of like float in space because you don't want to relax. You want to have the effort here to keep the hips level. So take a moment here, take your hand to your hip, relax. Notice how now one hip can be lower than the other. Get some effort here, press your right sit bone, bring your left hip level. Great. Flex to that right foot. This left ankle, you want to kind of have it be on the outside of the hip. So take your left hand to your hip, Bring your hand straight down. You want to make sure that your ankle is pressing right where your fingers would be. Perfect. Flex that right foot again. Reach the hands high. Just hinge forward, coming into a forward fold. And you'll notice that by elevating the pelvis like we have, you might feel a lot more stretch here. That's okay. If you're like me and forward folds, like, and I'm feeling my hamstrings, that's great. This, I'm like, ooh, I feel this. This is great. So nice hamstring stretch here. Keep pulling left hip forward, right hip back. Chin towards the shin. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Exhale. Let go. All right. We're going to stay where we are. We're going to come into a variation of Supta Virasana. So option here, I take my hands to line up with my feet. Well, the foot behind your wrist. I press down, roll the shoulders back. Important here, don't just let yourself sag. You need to keep lifting up. You'll see why in a minute. So from here, maybe this is all the stretch you need for your quad. If this is where you want to stay, that's great. Keep pressing through the quad, reaching it down. Feel that stretch. If you're not feeling anything yet, lift your hips up, squeeze it together, scoop your tailbone underneath, and then begin to maybe lower down to one elbow, maybe the other. Again, this is where that pressing down is important. Press through your elbows, lift your chest. Keep the effort off the low back here. Keep hugging your left knee in towards the center, pressing the knee down. Maybe this is where you feel everything. If you want more, you can come all the way down your back. This is where that bolster would come handy, taking it right underneath you. Or you can take another block, and you can use the block here to support you, like this. Again, this is the cork block. So if you have cork blocks, I'm sorry, it's very uncomfortable. If you have a foam block, it might feel good to put it under your left shoulder, or maybe a little, maybe kind of like middle of the rib cage. Let your left hand come out to the side. Maybe this is good for you. Options are abundant here. Deep breath in, long breath out. We're going to come back to this 2 more times. So let's go ahead and slowly roll a little bit towards your right, press through your right elbow, lift yourself up to seated. There we go. Let's go ahead and take side number 2. Let your left leg go long. Give it a little bit of grace. We just spent a lot of time on bent knees. Maybe we need to let circulation come back to the foot. Maybe we wiggle around. But from here, shift the block to the other sit bone. Let the left leg go long. And now the right knee bends, comes in. Again, same setup. You want to make sure if you take your hand to your hip, you bring it straight down, your ankle should be about right where your fingers are. That's going to be a good distance here. Again, maybe you need to move your calf out of the way like I did. All right. Make sure your tailbone is firmly underneath you. Make sure the sit bone is firmly touching the block. Inhale, hands reach high. Make sure that right hip is floating in space, not sliding down. Make sure they're level. Kick up to that left heel and take your forward fold. Maybe you're like, oh, this is great. Maybe you're like, oh, this sucks. Whatever you feel here, just breathe into it. If you feel like your knee is hyperextending, take a slight micro bend, really tense that quad. Now find a hamstring stretch. I find that engaging the quad helps me really engage my hamstrings much more deep and allows me to feel something more acutely. Awesome work. Taking 3 solid breaths here. And slowly begin to bring yourself back on up. We're going to take our Supta Virasana on this side. So again, maybe you stay just like this. Begin to roll the shoulders back, hands come behind you. I align my fingers under my toes. Maybe you stay like this. Maybe this is enough stretch for you. If you want more, pick your hips up, squeeze your glutes, scoop your tailbone underneath, set it back down. Come down to one elbow, come down to the other. Again, don't just sag, press down. Don't let your low back take the brunt of this. Keep scooping the tailbone underneath as you press that knee down. If your knee's lifting up, that's okay. Maybe you can put a pillow under it instead. But keep reaching down. As long as you feel the stretch acutely through the quads, maybe even into the hip flexor. If you want more, maybe you bring the block behind you. Maybe you experiment by taking it down a level and seeing how this might feel. I have the block long ways. It's right under my shoulder blade, so it's coming right about toward my Occipital muscles are base of the skull, and I'm just kind of hanging out here. Again, core blocks, not so comfortable. So if you need to, maybe throw your mat over the block and put the block under your mat, or using a bolster would be much more advisable. Taking several deep breaths in, several breaths out. Then begin to slowly press yourself back up if you haven't already. Lean towards your left. Let that get yourself back up. Let both legs go long. Move the block out from under you for a moment. Maybe you just shimmy side to side. Wiggle the legs. Option to do that again once more. Or option to come into full Virasana. If you're going to try the full Virasana, I still highly suggest bringing a block underneath you, but we're going to start from a more of a table position. I like to move my calf out of the way, and you want to make sure your hips are going to be sitting right beside your legs. Now for me, my knees do not permit this. So I need to have a block on the low setting underneath me, so that way I do not end up blowing out my knees. Not good. So from here, again, try to find the feet hugging the block if it's there. Knees should be hugging in the entire time if you're taking full Virasana. Lift up, and maybe you sit right here. Maybe this is fine for you. If you want more, hands, fingertips right behind the toes, roll the shoulders back, press down. Maybe you keep lifting to the chest, drop your hands down. Okay, maybe this is really intense. Now we're doing both legs, not just one. Lift the hips a little bit, scoop the tailbone underneath, and replace the bum on the block. Okay, maybe this is where you want to stay. If you want to do more, maybe you're going to come all the way back, resting yourself onto the block, reaching down through the knees. Maybe your hands are out by the side, T, or maybe even overhead. If you're on a bolster, live your best life. This is a somewhat comfortable pose for some people. For me, I really tight quads. I want to tear my eyes out right now. And I want to keep squeezing my glutes together, lifting up through the pelvis. I want to really reach down to the knees, try to lift up through the elbows, roll the shoulders back. And then maybe if you're done, you're going to belly button the spine, try to bring one hand behind you, press yourself up slowly, watch your low back as you do that, and maybe you say, come up to here. Once you are done with your Virasana or your Chitta Virasana, we're going to come into a tabletop position. We've just spent a lot of time on our knees. So I'm going to reach one leg back, wiggle around, bend the knee. Do the same other side. Then from here, I'm going to let my legs go out nice and long. I'm going to let the legs go long. I'm going to sort of tuck the tailbone underneath once more. And I'm slowly going to lower myself to the ground. Arms are going to reach high overhead, coming to a full body stretch. We're going to reach tall, reach low with the toes. And then as you exhale, hug the knees in. Taking it gentle on the closure of the knees, maybe take your hands behind your thighs so that your knees don't close as tightly, and hug your knees to the chest. Maybe this is a little more comfortable for you. If your knees are really feeling pretty beat up right now, maybe straighten one leg, straighten the other. Let the hamstrings get a bit of a stretch. But from here, let the knees go nice and wide. Plant the feet under the ceiling, hands coming onto foot, ankle, or shin. You want to kick up through the hands, pull down through the arms. So kick through heels, pull through the hands, finding happy Ananda Balasana. Let your tailbone really reach towards the ground. If you're having trouble with your tailbone touching the ground, maybe drop your hands to the insides of the knees, just like this, and let your knees front to the side. Let your calves drape over your fingertips. Maybe you just kind of maybe sway side to side. If you're in a full high baby, maybe you straighten one leg, maybe you straighten the other. But play around with this pose. Taking one more deep breath in, and taking any final movements you need to complete your practice before you find your legs reaching nice and long. one to each corner of the mat. Arms going by the side, finding your Shavasana. Finding your final resting pose. And as you find your Shavasana, taking a deep breath in, filling up. Exhale, sigh it out. Letting yourself completely relax on the mat. Letting go of energy and tension. Letting the mind really focus in on just the feel of that inhale, and that feel of the exhale. Remaining present in this moment, using the breath as your anchor. Taking a deep breath in and a long breath out. Beginning to invite movement and energy back into the body. Begin to wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, making motions with the ankles and the wrists. And on your next inhale, reach the arms overhead, coming into a full body stretch. Exhale here, knees coming for a good squeeze. Maybe rock side to side, massaging out that low spine. Then eventually begin to rock up and down the length of the spine, coming through to a seated position with your eyes closed. Sit bones pressing down, crown of the head reaching up. Drawing the hands through the heart center and bowing the chin towards the chest. Giving yourself gratitude and grace for being here this morning, for taking the time for self-care, for taking the time to move with intention, to breathe into the body, and to exist in this present moment. Mindfully, the thumbs come through to the forehead center and bow forward to seal this practice. Knowing that compassion is not a once and done, but a continuous action. Continuous learning, continuous moving forward, continuous work on understanding someone else's experience so that you can deeply understand, empathize, and be compassionate. Taking one final deep breath in, breath out. Namaste in its most simplest form means that the light in me honors and acknowledges the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.